to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I'm Brian. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day to all who celebrate. The four of us, essentially a four-leaf clover, are here for the entire show. I am back off my load restrictions. Jason is actually back in Pittsburgh. He has been a world traveler, both for himself and also with visitors, right, my friend?
Yeah. We got to say hello to Simon.
No, we don't.
Talked about him before. So Simon is a longtime listener, and he was in LA this past week, and I met up with him and his wife at the Rainbow, and he had a message for Joe. If you do not know what I'm talking about, go to our socials, you'll find it. And then he brought me a gift, and he brought me a hat. This is from the Rugby League. They are it's the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, I don't know anything about rugby, and he explained to me that there is the Rugby League, and then there's the Rugby Union. Rugby League is better than Rugby Union. I don't know anything about rugby, but I love this fucking logo. And you bet your ass I've already bought a hoodie, a t-shirt, and a jersey coming in like 7 weeks from Australia. I don't know what the mail situation is there, but amazing. Yeah. So thank you, Simon, for the hat. It was great to meet you and your wife, Louise. And he is a big fan of the band Tesla. So they were doing LA. They're doing Vegas to see Tesla. I took him inside the Rainbow, and he was like, this is the coolest thing ever, mate. And Joe, you fucking suck, mate. I'm not the only one. International people agree, and they think you suck, mate.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like everything's backwards there. So their water goes clockwise. So everything. So I must.
Water goes clockwise.
Yes.
You mean clock
down the drain? Right?
Down the drain.
Oh,
yeah. So like here,
okay.
it's counter. Northern hemisphere is counterclockwise. Southern hemisphere is clockwise. You can tell that Jason is a Simpsons fan.
Yeah,
I am not a Simpsons fan, so I don't get any of that shit. But you suck, mate. Internationally,
I took that. I told Joe you should take that as like a badge of honor, just because the accent's amazing. And Jay, am I right? Like, didn't he just discover like the old SoCal podcast? Like, he's been a long time. He's been a listener, random. Just
at random. One day. Cool. So, I mean, if you don't know, I had the SoCal Pro Wrestling Podcast. That's when I had my first foray into trying podcasting. And then it kind of went by the wayside during the pandemic. Like, the Thunderdome years weren't kind to the SoCal Pro Wrestling Podcast. He had messaged me back then. And then when this podcast started, whatever platform he was listening on, we didn't show up right away. So we'll say a few months into the podcast, Simon, said, hey, That Wrestling Podcast showed up in my feed. I listened to you guys. He was a fan of Quincy Jones, the Quincy Jones interview from a couple months ago. Yeah. He thinks Joe sucks, so he's fucking all right with me, mate. And so it was just cool to meet Simon. We had some barbecue chicken pizza at the Rainbow. We sat in Lemmy's Lounge, and he is, I believe he's a few years older than I am. But like he knew every photo of those rockers in the Rainbow, and we were talking about concerts and metal. And the crazy thing is, didn't really talk about wrestling except for he is a monster GCW fan.
Oh wow! How cool is that?
Yeah, and I was like, it's a lot for me, but yeah. So thanks again, Simon. Thanks for the hat. Thanks for the lunch. And if I ever get to Sydney, I definitely will hit you and your wife up to see the sights, mate. And you can tell me how much you hate Joe even more.
Joe, just take it as a badge of honor. You have
well, didn't Brian just say that?
International heat.
Internationally hated.
Internationally
hated. There you go. That might be a t-shirt coming to
worldwide heel heat. Joe. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate.
I'm hated on both hemispheres now. All right.
Yep. something to be proud of. Guys, we're
I'm
16
going for the
days.
equator next. I want to be right in the middle. I want like everyone on the equator to hate me too.
Is there
Okay.
a country on the equator? You're the teacher.
Yeah,
You're supposed to know this shit.
South America.
I was gonna say shout out Ecuador, maybe.
Africa.
I don't know.
I'm talking about continents that are on the equator.
Okay.
Oh, well, while we're
India?
talking about international things related to the podcast, I got an email. We are number 97 in the Philippines for wrestling podcast.
Hey, that's
how cool
amazing.
Is that? So if you're from the
amazing.
Philippines, thank you for listening. And
wow,
let us know where in the Philippines. You can DM us at That WrestlePod on social media or thatwrestlepod@gmail.com. And don't forget, I know we're a couple weeks away, and we may not get to 4,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, but we're still trying to get to 4,000 sooner than later at That Wrestling Podcast. And hello, Philippines. You don't suck like Joe does, mate.
Yeah, look out, number 96, Steve's Filipino Wrestling Podcast. I'm coming for you. We're hot on your heels. Guys, we're 16 days away from Mania. Lots of developments, rumors, shaping up the cards taking place since last week. Let's spend a little bit of time on a couple of these happenings. First, we're getting Edge and Finn Balor in Hell in a Cell. Finn essentially teasing the Demon would be there. Guys, this is big. I mean, first off, I looked it up. June 6th was when Finn turned on Edge. So this is they've been at odds for about 10 months now. Kev, I'll go to you because you're the biggest Edge guy. Yeah. Well, you of multiple Edge koozies. What's your excitement level for this one?
Before Hell in the Cell, I was interested, right? But it's something we've seen before. Hell in the Cell. It's, two guys, hopefully no run-ins. Let them just beat the shit out of each other. Give me a match to the level of Cody and Seth, but let it be the finish of the feud. That's the biggest thing. Let everything go to hell. So to speak, just because I want Edge, if he's truly going to be done, how many more months is it? 8, 7, 6 from when he said he was 1 year to go. I want him to feud with more people than just Finn. So, but if we get Demon out of it, sweet. Give it to me.
Full Demon. Prince Demon.
Purple, Demon. Yes. Purple Rain Demon.
But I'm excited. A lot has come out with Mania, which we'll touch on the other ones too. But the Hell in the Cell, Jay, you're going to see it live. I hope it's a great one.
So I've seen a few Hell in a Cell matches in my time. I think Brian and I went to one in Dallas. I went to one in LA. And of course, the big one was WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, Shane and The Undertaker. And I was on the side where Shane jumped off of the cell. I don't think we're going to get anything like that in this match. But I'm excited. I've seen the Demon a couple times live. So yeah, this is going to be great. I really thought that we were going to get Priest and Edge. 1 year since Priest joined Edge, but maybe Edge just goes through them all over the next couple months. We'll get Dom, and then we'll get Priest at SummerSlam, or I don't know. The Edge Rhea match though is going to be fucking insane.
Now we're talking. Joe, when you heard Hell in a Cell at Mania, I think the last one was that Shane Taker one that you were at, Jay. How did you feel when you heard about that announcement?
I was so happy that they made it a Hell in a Cell because it made it special. Because it wasn't just, hey, it's October, we're just going to have you do a Hell in a Cell because that's the name of the premium live event. So it makes it a big deal because the match was intended to be the end of the feud. So, and we've seen Hell in a Cell live too. We were at the one at Little Caesars where New Day Usos started. That was awesome.
Nice.
But the main event was Kevin Owens and Shane, and we were on the side where Shane jumped off the top and Sami Zayn pulled him, and that's when Sami turned heel for the first time. So
nice.
I'm teasing the Demon, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania, end of the feud. They just made that match. I was excited for it before, but this Mania is shaping up to look really good. It doesn't seem like it when it's like the build, but you're like, every match is going to be a banger except for
Mhm.
2.
You want to say what those 2 are?
We already know.
That
we already know the one.
We know one. Oh, look at that fist.
Look at that fist to everyone's face. And the other one, and it's not just a hater, but it's I said a couple weeks ago, Rhea and Charlotte should be the main event of night 1. The build has been terrible. It might be an okay match, but Asuka and Bianca is a terrible build too. I'm very disappointed in the women's build.
So, do any of you follow Charlotte on Instagram?
No.
I saw her abs.
Joe blocked her, actually.
Oh,
I don't even sign up for Instagram because of her.
Come on, just go with me, Joe. Come on.
So she posted a photo today. It was her and Andrade, and they're wearing these sweatshirts. And Andrade says the real Latino man, because remember a couple weeks ago she told Dom, I have a real Latino man at home.
That's right. That was fun.
And then Charlotte has one that says, Poppy, call me mommy, for you the queen. So maybe we get Andrade back at Mania.
That'd be sweet.
And the crowd goes mild.
No, they'd go nuts.
They would go nuts to see Andrade.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but you're right. The builds haven't been what they've, could be, but I'm still excited for the matches.
I'm confused about the Asuka build because it's like she was all like new paint job and like total new character, and now she's coming out looking like she's ready to go to a soccer game.
Yeah,
and just blows the mist at everyone's face.
I thought she was to say like a board meeting.
I thought she looked awesome on Monday. Scarier than the face paint. Yeah.
She looks amazing without makeup and all that.
It's like, I have a parent teacher conference right now, and she's shooting blue mist in my face. What's going on?
Looks like she just ate like a lot of warheads. Like, remember those candies back in the day?
Yes.
No, they're still.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you. Both women's championship matches have been lackluster, but both matches are going to be fantastic in the ring. That's the biggest thing. But I agree.
I'm agreeing with you, Kev. Yeah, 100%. Filed this one under the rumors category. What's going on with Bray Wyatt? It started, there was a house show at Madison Square Garden, I think this past Sunday. He was advertised for it. He did not show. The rumors started flying around that he just flat out no-showed it. Fightful reports that he's dealing with a, quote, physical injury, but no timetable for his return. It seems very strange with what's going on. Guys, if Bray is out for Mania, because we're, again, 2.5 weeks away, essentially, just over 2 weeks away, what do you do with Lashley at Mania? Do you have a booking that you would do for Bobby if Bray cannot perform?
I think what we're going to get is Bobby inserting himself with Brock and Omos. I'm a fan of the big monster matches, and I think this would classify. Originally, I thought we were going to get Brock hitting Omos with an F5. If Bobby is included, they could have that, random enemy team up against Omos. Maybe that's how we get rid of Omos early in the match, because if it's a triple threat, there's no rules, no disqualification. So I think we get that. I mean, really, there isn't much else. I mean, we know the list of people that don't have anything for WrestleMania. What, we're going to have Bobby Lashley win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be appropriate. Yeah.
We're just going to randomly have him face Strowman? No. I mean, the only thing that would
I don't hate that, but yeah.
Oh, what if Bobby
that's another big match?
What if Bobby joined the Maximum Male Models with Otis?
that would be a terrible.
I don't hate it.
Bobby's a good-looking guy. He could be a model.
Absolutely.
He looks great in those suits.
Bobby Lashley.
It would be Bobby instead of Bobby. It'd be Bobby.
Book it. I love it.
I'd say, like, if not, then LA Knight comes out to talk trash about how he's not on Mania, and Bobby just comes out and
they
have a match.
That's good.
Lashley. I can't get over Lashley.
Nope.
That was great.
Lashley.
Lay. That's amazing. I had a similar thread to you, Jay, but I had Brock beats Omos. Lashley comes out. He attacks Brock. Brock gets on the mic after everything's pulled apart and says, "Bobby, I'll see you tomorrow night because this will be a night one match. I'll see you tomorrow night for night two for a street fight."
Okay.
We do Lashley Brock night two street fight.
I mean, did the WWE sell? Because I don't know if they can afford Brock 2 nights in a row.
I know. Hello, Endeavor on line one. I don't know, but we'll have to see how that plays out. But certainly a lot of weird happenings with Bray Wyatt, and hopefully it all comes together.
Does his return remind anyone else of Warriors 96 return? Where all hype and it was just basically like
it's getting
fizzled out.
Jay, you said it week after week about just, I'm confused. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm not smart. Jay, if you're not smart, it's not for that reason. Okay, brother, I don't understand what's going on. No one understands. Uncle Howdy, all these things. No idea.
Maybe we get Bobby and Uncle Howdy in a match.
Mm-hmm. That would only work.
Maybe. Sure.
It would work if the next night Bray would show up. If he just destroyed Uncle Howdy, say Bobby did, and Bray wasn't gonna come back, then that would totally fizzle bad.
Okay, wait, I got it. All right, here we go. Okay. The lights go out on Monday After Raw. Cult of Personality hits.
Oh, come on. There we go.
No. We go. I mean, look, if Bray Wyatt walked out, he should be done. But, yes. I mean, if his merchandise is still for sale on WWE Shop, he didn't walk out.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if it
think
is,
so. Maybe Bray saw Vince's mustache and gorilla and was like, F this, I'm out of here.
Leave Gomez alone.
I have an inside story on that, which I cannot talk about on the show. But when we get done, we'll talk about it off the record.
All right.
So,
but to what you said, Joe, like debut great, LA Knight stuff, fun. We pitch black match, fun, right? But it happened that SmackDown, whatever, a couple weeks ago, where he said like Brock and Bray, I want the winner, and we all went, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Why?
So yeah, it was just very now it's just like, oh, I don't know what is happening right now.
Because wasn't it like Warrior came back to a big pop, unfortunately for Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but then
no, he did
with Gold. Yeah, he did fine. Feud with Gold Dust, fun, strange but fun, kind of like LA Knight, and then feud with the King, and nothing happened of it.
And then he was gone.
And then it was, and then like that, he was gone.
We're keeping an eye on it all because it's definitely a weird thing right now where if somebody's hurt, I think most of the time it's clear what has happened, and this isn't a case where it is. So
maybe his feelings are just hurt.
Maybe
because his return has sucked.
Because Bobby, if anything, I don't know. Maybe it's a positive. Something happened because the buildup with Bobby, with the Muscle Man dance, and then just LA Knight carried that because LA Knight's fantastic on the mic. Bobby's gotten better, right?
Well,
but it would have been, but the promos would have been. I just feel like they would have been bad. Maybe Bobby just walks out there, says something, and Bray just pops open. Maybe it's a work on all of us.
Well, the Muscle Man dance.
Oh, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie.
He did it for Cena.
If that was original, it would have been good.
Yeah.
Like when I watched that video, he did it before, so it's not anything new. I don't know. I have no idea and I mean, look, this potentially could be the bathroom break match if it actually, or if some form of it happens. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Maybe this is 3, Joe.
Kev, you mentioned LA Knight. Let me talk to you about, I didn't say that right. I said, let me talk to you. I meant, let me talk to you about another report that came out this week about the ideas pitched to Stone Cold at WrestleMania. This is again from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Of late, we've heard that a very in shape Steve Austin was made additional pitches to get on the show, but not for necessarily marquee matches. LA Knight was a name rumored online, and we can confirm that's at least been pitched. Nobody close to Austin or in WWE have been able to verify that it's happening. Guys, would you be down for Austin LA Knight segment, or is there something else that you'd rather see with Stone Cold's time? I'm all for it.
Yeah.
100% for it.
That it, right?
Segment, perfect. If it's an impromptu, get a ref out there with a quick match, perfect.
We had that last year.
Huh?
With Stone had that last.
Give
year
it to me every year because that match was still great. And just having LA Knight and Stone Cold with microphones. Maybe Stone Cold can make fun of LA Knight's red vest with little hooks on it, saying, or LA Knight saying, "This is what a real man wears, a real vest." Like,
No,
and
yeah,
then just
what?
back
Black
and
vest.
forth.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
That's what we want.
It's yeah, what?
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
what? It's not the
what?
vest.
Yeah.
It's what? With
I mean, I think the
crowd.
vest could be a part of it because everyone has said how it's like LA Knight wants to be Stone Cold anyway. I don't see it, but a lot of people see it. So
I think it would be fun,
Yeah, I'm all for
and it would make LA Knights 2023.
Yeah.
You would hope.
I mean, you can't have an LA
yeah.
WrestleMania without LA Knight. I mean,
He's getting great reactions, I think, on SmackDown, on Raw versus Cody this week. It's going well for him, I think. And so this would be something that he could do something really cool with. Spoiler alert, I think he will get stunned and get beer poured on him. Okay.
yeah,
Sorry to ruin everyone's day.
maybe some of that
But-
double IPA.
double IPA. So double IPA. Just there was a party at El Segundo Brewing. We're recording this on 3/16 Stone Cold Day. Ironically enough, Kevin, 316 days until the Jericho Cruise
I know, I saw that.
Oh,
On-
that's funny.
on
Wow.
3/16 day.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the stars aligning right there.
No,
but
stars
yeah,
aligning would be Stone Cold being on the cruise somehow, but that's not going to happen.
yeah, that's
No, that's never going to happen.
they
That's never
announced
happened.
didn't they announce Paul White was like the special guest, a big show.
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, so
The Vaudettes will be there.
The who?
The Vaudettes,
Oh, was that the
The
dancing group you
Shaw
showed?
Guerreros. They have a lifetime
They did.
lifetime invite.
Yeah.
No, Jericho said it.
They just
Jericho
live on
said
a
it.
cruise now. They're just
And
cruise
then
performers. I get it.
Guardians of the Jukebox, which is Rich Ward's 80s project, which was fucking amazing. I'm so bummed I only saw them on the last night because they were so good. So good.
Yeah. Well, finally, we've wondered about what is going on with the Hall of Fame. And we've all
Finally.
made our guess. It's been like, what's happening? Why hasn't this been announced yet? We've made all our guesses on who should
We
be in
were
the
all
class.
wrong.
We were
I think
wrong.
we're all 0 for 2, right? Nobody.
Yeah.
Friday SmackDown announced Rey Mysterio. And then on Wednesday's The Bump, Ric Flair announced the recently retired Great Muta will also be inducted. Your guys' thoughts on Rey and Muta for the Hall? And do we expect that we're getting Dominic shenanigans at the Hall? He challenges Rey on Monday to Mania. We're right there. Rey says, "I'm not doing it." I think it's happening at the Hall to happen at Mania.
So it was announced that Ray asked for Conan to induct him, which
That's
is great.
right. And
And
Kevin will be VIP front row. It's amazing. We're
He's
so
tearing
happy for
up.
Kevin.
He's got a tear in his eye. A tear in his eye.
I feel like I'm Carrot Top with with the shenanigans.
I mean, I think we all
With a tear.
Ray's gonna get inducted. Dom's going to interrupt, which we've never had before, like storyline in the
Not
Hall of Fame,
storyline.
at least to my knowledge.
right.
Bret Hart disagrees
Yeah.
with
Aw.
not interrupted.
Poor
that was a
Bret.
shoot.
Yeah.
That was a shoot.
That was a
wasn't
shoot,
work.
brother.
And so was Cash Wheeler's punch to that guy's face. That was a shoot
Oh,
too.
right. I forgot
Um,
about that.
So I mean, I think Dom interrupts, and then Ray's like, "Fine, you're ruining one of the biggest moments of my life."
Yeah.
But do we get mask versus hair? Do we get mask versus
I
career?
hope so.
Like what do you guys think is the stipulation? Because
Great question.
this has to be hair versus career. Is this Ray's last match? Because if it isn't, I really think we get the last Ray match at Backlash Mania in Puerto Rico.
I'll say this. I never even thought of match versus hair, but I'm all up for it. If Dom goes bald and then he looks like a true more prison guy. The look. By the way,
I feel like they dropped the prison gimmick.
I did predict.
Now he's entitled kid.
I'm 1 for 3 on my predictions. If William Regal in The Rock, I'll be 3 for 3.
Wait, you said Muta?
I said Muta.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't even know you.
I don't remember that. But
The Rock.
I'm not calling you a liar. Just I didn't remember doing that. Awesome.
At least my
Nice
memory.
job, Kev.
At least my memory thinks I did. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I was drunk. But I will say this: is Ray the headliner? They never
He has
said.
to be.
I presume
if-
so.
It's
but-
unless Batista gets. I think if Batista does it this year, Batista is the headliner.
Or
But
might pick Triple H, but yes.
would Batista do that to Ray?
I think
They're
Batista
buddies,
and
right?
Ray
They're buddies.
together, which is why I think they would do it because they're buddies.
Right. Yeah.
don't know.
I could see this being Ray's last match. I don't see a stipulation be announced beforehand, but I see Dominic wins somehow. And I mean, does Ray take off the mask and leave it in the middle of the ring as like the leaving the boots in the middle of the ring?
That would be
UFC,
huge.
and he
That'd be
walks off,
huge.
and yeah, I mean, I can imagine how that reaction would be. That would not surprise me.
That reaction be like Undertaker losing the streak? Like, would we get that dude?
I think it'd be up there. I do.
The reaction,
Yeah.
the facial reactions.
I think, yeah, just him like going, like I can picture him slowly reaching for the mask and just seeing the crowd go, what? Wait, what? Just losing their minds. I think this feud, guys, this has been so well done. This is not quite like Bloodline, Sammy, everything, but it's a notch below for me. I've really, really enjoyed how this has played out.
Yep.
All right, I'll take a swig of beer and we'll move on. Oh, by the way, guys, what happens tonight with Sheamus and Drew?
Triple threat.
Predictions.
Triple threat, no
They're gonna
contest.
a schmoz triple threat.
Yeah,
And I'm all right with that.
Oh yeah.
that will be that. If it's a triple threat, that should headline night one.
No.
That should be the main event of night one.
No.
Sheamus and
It's not.
It could
Gunther
open night
again.
one or open night two. It could be an opener.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know. I really think Drew deserves a main event in front of people.
Not
And
yet.
Sheamus
Not for
and
the
Gunther, we
Intercontinental
already-
title.
Not
not?
not yet.
No, not for the Intercontinental title.
I want
Because if
everything
they
to
get-
headline night one.
Yes, you do.
I was gonna say
Logan
well,
and Seth are headlining. Bianca,
Charlotte Rhea,
yeah,
Oscar
everybody's
Bianca.
headlining.
And
But
then
there's so many good
and then
matches
when
that
one of
can,
them gets
so-
it, I'll be like, I called it.
Right.
Yep.
right.
I called the Great Muta
Yeah.
too. No big deal.
No, guys, it's gonna be Sammy and KO and the Usos. They've main evented SmackDown and Raw. Any like segment, right? I'm
actually
100%
think that's what it
convinced.
is?
Yes, I do.
But the
I'm
match isn't
100%
even a thing
convinced.
yet.
It isn't, but it's going to be again. I got into a little Twitter back and forth with somebody, and it was mostly cordial, so that's a first. But she
For
was
you.
saying there's
But she
no
was saying-
way that they're gonna not give the women a headlining spot on one of the nights because they didn't last year. It's gonna be Charlotte and Rhea, and I said we're gonna have the historic Usos title reign versus the best friends reuniting after the whole Bloodline saga of Sammy and KO. That's your headliner. The crowd's going to be more invested in them. And after SmackDown and after Raw, which again, both have closed with segments of Usos, Sammy, KO things, I tweeted her and I was like, how you feeling? How you feeling? She's like, I'm not feeling good. I was like, I'm like, don't, it's not
feeling
over
oozy?
yet. Don't. Yeah, he's feeling oozy. I should have said that. Yeah, I'm convinced that'll be what it is. And Jay, last week you talked your legend idea. I mean, that's fun in a vacuum too. I think we'll just have it how it is, but it's not official, so time will tell.
I mean, like I said last week, if we get the 6-man, Roman's retaining. And I still have
Yeah,
if we do the percentage game, I think it's I think it's like 51-49 again that Roman retains. Like it could be that close, which I know nobody wants to hear. Everybody wants Cody to win the title, but like,
Yeah.
goddamn, this is like, I would love Roman to be champ for another 200 days, 300 days. Give it to me.
It's not a lock, and it's exciting. It's a first time matchup, so we'll keep speaking on it in the next couple of weeks here. All right, so this week we found out too, the Bella twins are no longer with us. Now that doesn't mean they're not with us.
They didn't
they're
die.
Now they're the Garcia twins, guys. Yes. They're no longer part of WWE. They've changed their podcast name. I think they announced they have a show on Amazon coming up. This comes just days after a picture of them backstage at AEW Revolution with Saraya and Renee. So naturally, speculation, they could be joining AEW. Jay has been a big proponent of this idea. They have since denied that it's happening. Jay, we already know how you feel, Jay. So Kevin, Joe, would you be down for the Garcia twins having a role in AEW? And putting in that quotes there.
And their little brother, Daniel Garcia's in the JAS.
Right.
No and no for both of them. No.
Wow.
Kev?
The thing
He's
is,
still thinking.
like Britt with her tweet, right? And she tweeted with the Bellas. I feel like it's setting up for them to maybe come out, go. I'm going to go with Britt and then turn on her, right? And then
we just had that.
Well, I feel like it's going to keep going. And then it's going to be the AEW OGs, especially when you see Rio and I don't remember.
But did anyone care about besides
Willow? Yeah,
Willow.
But besides Britt, did anyone care about the AEW original women's roster?
I like Statlander.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
she's hurt.
But they didn't do anything.
I like Nyla Rose too, but they just keep jerking her around,
which is crazy.
But it's like they started strong in 2019, 2020, but the second the pandemic hit, it was all Brit. And the rest of it, true. But so you can't say that, these originals have been like, the originals are like on Dark. They didn't give them any respect. So this outcast thing makes no sense.
Including the name.
They had Thunder Rosa as a part of it.
They come out to green instead of the black and white. I mean, it screams women's NWO.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'd mentioned Thunder Rosa too. She was part of that, and then there's a whole weird thing about her, like she's injured, but it was a weird thing when she was the champ, and they bring that up how Toni Storm was interim, and it's all weird. My other question about this though, guys, because I think sure, go to AEW. There's probably a valuable role for you, but I'm wondering about the fan reaction because the former Bella twins, right? They're different than the other women on the roster. They're in the mainstream. They're household names in air quotes, but they're not exactly like the indie wrestling darlings that the AEW crowd gravitates towards. So I'm very curious how, like, if they were to come out, I don't think like when Saraya came out, she got a big pop for her debut surprise. Right. I don't know if that happens with the Bella twins. I think
they booed the shit out of her. Them.
And that's what you get.
So?
And that's what they want, but that's why they would work.
They'd have to do that, right? Okay.
That's why it works. You get the heat for not being Saraya or Toni Storm or Ruby Soho, but they don't need them to be Toni Storm or Saraya. Now keep Bray away from a fucking microphone and her fucking the dumb shit that's the only thing she does. I think it makes total sense to bring them in, but without that name, the name value is a little, Saraya, a lot of people knew that was her name. The Garcias, not
thanks to your movie.
Thanks to my movie, yeah.
Yes.
So I would like to see it because I know it would get the crowd reaction and it would piss off a lot of the hardcore AEW fans.
It would.
But wouldn't it be just like really a one and done? Like when it comes to the crowd reaction, and then it would be like, them again, and it wouldn't get them angry. It'd just be like boring.
I don't know.
I think it would be ongoing. because nobody wants to see them apparently, but me. So like they keep coming out, they're going to keep getting booed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, until they don't get a reaction, and then obviously then they can go away. So make it a short-term storyline. Maybe that's you have your 3 outcasts with a rotating cast of characters, kind of similar to the NWO, whether they're contracted wrestlers or not with AEW. I'm all for it. I think that it would get them a lot of love, and I really do feel like it would bring the women's viewership to AEW, much like Total Bellas brought and Total Divas brought viewership to the wrestling show because of the reality show. A lot of women watch the reality show, not the wrestling show. They watch the reality show, then become fans of the wrestling show.
No, that's all very true. That could be a fun exercise. Like, what if the outcasts like build out like the NWO? Like, who would be the female Scott Norton of the outcasts? Like, what's
Wendy Richter,
right? Right.
Fabulous Moolah's hologram. Miss Elizabeth's hologram.
I'm trying to think of
Medusa.
Rosa Mendez is
Medusa
back.
would be the Scott Norton of this situation.
Medusa, yeah. We could let's go all in on the Outcast NWO.
Do you know what? You know what could get Brie some instant heat? She shows up on AEW
and
grabs
makes
the
out,
mic.
makes out with MJF.
I don't want my husband to wrestle.
Snap! We'll talk about that next.
Yeah.
She goes on the microphone and she says something to the point of throw Bryan Danielson right under the bus. Say he wrote on social media, he's going home. Well, one of us has to pay the bills or something like that.
Yeah.
Instant heat.
One of us has to work.
Since that, something like that. Go right up immediately. Get booed. And then the next week, nothing.
Yeah.
Medusa
we'll keep an eye on that.
Norton.
I hope they get
Norton.
But I'll say this, AEW was good last night, guys.
It was very good.
Here's hoping they get the rights to the Brie mode song. That would be amazing.
Oh, we can't miss that. Yeah. No, it'd be fun. I guess we can go into that. We can go into Dynamite really quick. I enjoyed it. In the text, Jay, Kev, we were all like, yay. It was a fun show. I think, we had the MJF rebar mitzvah, which was just hilarious how they go all in on that.
Well,
I love all of that.
So I watched it late, and when I realized what they were doing was bringing out the pillars, I'm like, this is fucking genius.
Mm-hmm.
For years,
it's what we've been wanting.
Pillars. Yes. And shit, make it a 4-way. I don't care who gets the title shot, but
that's my question, guys. We saw this. I honestly, going into this, knowing that they were in Winnipeg, and I know they had a trios match set, but I was thinking we were going to get Kenny Omega to lead into MJF. But they come out with this Jungle Boy, Sammy, Darby, all at once. We want title shots. Man, did I pop for the MJF line about
lost
Sammy,
the V card, bro. It was sick.
No, that was fun.
I tweeted that because I thought that was fucking hilarious.
That was fun. But I was saying about Sammy, aren't you going to find the next girl you're going to marry in 7 months or however that was?
Yeah, but Sammy went right back to him. It's at least my fiance didn't dump me.
Right. No,
but I thought Jungle Boy was started off strong too, saying you've never been on Dark.
Right.
You've been handed everything.
Or even Rampage.
It's like Jungle Boy, I felt like out of all 4 of them, owned the mic in the entire segment. And he started it. He started strong and everyone else brought it with there. And MJF looked like the biggest clown compared to the 3 other pillars being ready, hungry, and wanting to get their time to shine. And no WWE guys.
See, I thought Jungle Boy, the first 30 seconds, I thought he was nervous on the mic.
I didn't get
that.
And
then I feel like he got, I feel like he looked like lost in headlights. And then he got his foot on the ground and on the mic. I thought they were all strong.
Darby a new side of Darby, I thought. His thing about, I don't like my spot. I want my release, my blah, blah, blah. We've never seen that type of Darby speak before. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. And I love the fact that MJF said that they were all part of Daddy Daycare because they all had to.
That's great.
But
wasn't
he with Cody when he first started? Like, wasn't he shadowing Cody for a little bit? I mean, it was a small amount of time, but he was like Cody's best friend. It's different because of it wasn't as big of an age gap, but it was still veteran with the young guy. So it's like that's how he got his foot in the door, but they realized he didn't need anyone. But he can't say that he didn't have someone help him out to start off with too.
But Cody's not there anymore, so it's like it never happened. Out of sight, out of mind.
But he's still in the game. Whenever that's being released.
Whenever the game comes out. Yeah.
7 years from now.
WWE 2K24 will be out before the AEW game. And 23, I think just dropped this week, I think, right?
Yeah.
Kev, did you get it yet? Joe, did you get it?
No.
Are you planning on?
Jason didn't get it yet either.
I'm going to buy it and never play it.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm actually considering. I've been watching a lot of videos, and just like last year, I got excited for the GM mode. But like I said, I bought it last year and spent 0 minutes playing it this year. So maybe we'll repeat that again.
We'll keep an eye on it. Maybe we'll have a video game review if somebody gets it and plays it. We'll see.
Well, Cena's on the cover, so Jason's motto is "You can't play me." So you're all set.
It just fits.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's just like for me though, when it comes to those types of games, if I can't have the like ultra mega version, I don't really like it. So I don't know what all the bonuses and the freebies are with the Cena, but I didn't pre-order it, so I'm not going to get those anyway.
I think playable characters of Prototype and Leviathan are on that one.
And I heard Lube Boots and Tights is in the game too as downloadable content. So I was just asking whatever happened to that guy. So
I don't know. And his sister Lucy Boot and Tights too.
Crazy.
Downloadable characters. It's great.
It's,
all right,
it's downloadable content, Brian. Get your gaming lingo
DLC.
Right.
Yes. I need you guys to carry the ship when it comes to the gaming facts and figures.
And what's crazy is the one that knows the most said the least, Kevin.
Right, Kev?
I'm just taking it in. Maybe I'm going to have to go buy it.
You need to go to Walmart after the pod.
It might be free on Game Pass. I'll have to check that out.
In like 6 months, it'll be free.
No, it might be.
Last year's might be free.
I'm thinking, no, it's when AEW comes out, it's going to be free on Xbox Game Pass.
Oh.
NES Pro Wrestling is free.
And 25.
I think GCW is going to get a game before AEW comes out.
With Nick Gage, pizza cutter special
pre-order is a vial of Nick Gage's blood.
Yes.
With the pizza cutter.
Downloadable content.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like AEW's game is turning into Chinese democracy for me.
It is.
That's
a great
it's never gonna come out. When's Dr. Pepper gonna give me a free Dr. Pepper when this comes out?
Oh my god, I remember that show. I forgot.
I think that record was 10 years in the making. So
legit, yeah. I got that at Best Buy and I stood there and held it in my hand for like 3 minutes and didn't move. I'm like, it's really here. This is fucking amazing.
So in 2031, we'll get AEW Fight Forever with the
Brian will be sitting there going, like, "This is amazing!
It's really here.
It has a really thing. I wish I had a system to play it on.
It's a really good name though, Fight Forever, because it just takes forever to actually.
Does this play on the Wii?
Yes.
I got the Nintendo Wii version.
We got to clear out a Wii Sports to make room for AEW Revolution.
Well, they do have a Switch in Brian's house. Now, Brian, how is the Switch?
We do.
Are you playing it at all?
I'm not so much, but Harper's all about it. We just downloaded a new some Mario playing game. And her and Ange are teaming up on that.
Do you have Mario Kart?
I don't think we do. We have like a Mario Party game and another actual adventure game.
The Rabbids game with the Rabbids?
He's in it, I think.
Yeah.
One of the characters, yeah.
It's Smash Bros.
Yeah, I'm still
get Super Smash Bros. Kevin, I'm going to start practicing. So
Smash me.
316 days from now on the Jericho cruise, we could take part in the open play.
There you go. I was like, well, the TWP Smash Brothers tournament with Kevin getting the first round bye, me and Jay taking on to see who gets the winner. All right, more video game content as we continue on, but more AEW news now. Not official, but Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men podcast reports that AEW is soon to announce a third wrestling show. He alluded to it being Saturdays at 6 p.m. on TBS, so not quite 6:05, but the old mothership baby. 1 hour show, the old WCW Saturday night. I believe they recently trademarked AEW Collision, so possible new name for the show.
So dumb.
Not a fan, huh?
Gonna be a train wreck already.
Could we just AEW train wreck? I mean, AEW recap,
That's the next
AEW
video,
review,
Yeah.
Collision.
You don't like it? Don't like
No.
Collision? Okay.
Fuck, man.
How about
It's called
make
the AEW Wrestling Hour. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I would say name aside.
That's
Is it
AEW wrestling show. Like, come on.
Well, we have to check with our lawyers to see if they have
true.
legalities on that. But is this a good idea? 1 more hour of AEW. And if you were Tony Khan, how would you format the show?
You make it the Ring of Honor TV show.
We're not even doing AEW. We're doing ROH
It's Ring of
Saturday
Honor.
night.
Yeah.
Get Ring of Honor a regular thing so people can see the product to then purchase Honor Club.
Like that.
I thought that's what they were going to go with too, but it's like now it's like AEW Collision, and now I'm like conflicting with the fact like,
rumor.
Can we make Rampage good before we add another show that's going to be mediocre?
I mean, I love
let's
1
focus
hour
on
wrestling
Rampage.
shows. Rampage isn't bad, but it's when it's the problem with Rampage, it's on a bad time slot and it's always pre-recorded.
Right,
That's
so
the problem. You already know what's happening. And you know how much I hate spoilers.
Kev?
Well, this is gonna even if it's a show with wrestling on it, it's gonna be more pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah,
your
they're not going
AEW
live
on
Saturday
Wednesday is
night.
gonna be
Go
Say
live
what?
Friday, do live Rampage and film Saturday night.
Do Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how about this?
On Friday night.
You can still have Rampage taped, but it's just on a 2-hour delay. Like have it like they can record it Friday night at 8:00 and play that hour 2 hours later, and that's like the spoilers could come out, but you really have to look for it.
Yeah.
It's not coming out like 3 days earlier.
But
I don't
what
know.
if this was something that, they're doing the house show in the Uranus, Illinois, convention center.
Fire hall. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what if it's that? What if it's the house shows that they put on Saturday nights? Make that live. Great cut, by the way, Brian.
Thank you. Yes. Christmas ruled, brother. Thank you. I want to take a look at AEW's TV ratings right now. All right.
Please.
It's not something we talk about, but
Nope.
Dynamite
It's been the same for 3 years.
well, not exactly, but yes, close. But Q1 of 23 compared to 2022, down 9%. Rampage, same time frame. You guys talked about it. It's down 17%. I don't think anybody watches Rampage regularly. Year over year, Dynamite is down 14% in total viewers, and the 1849, the demo everybody talks about, is down 29%. Here's my issue with AEW, I think, in general.
So they have 4 million viewers, is what you're saying.
Oh, God.
40 million viewers.
Joe wins.
40 million.
Joe wins. Yes, we added Big Bang Theory and everything else that happened before and after to get that number. But no, my issue is I think they just have a challenge. It follows WWE during the week. The week starts. We get 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of NXT. Then we get Dynamite. Then Rampage is immediately after 2 hours of SmackDown. And most Fridays, I don't want to switch to another wrestling show when SmackDown's done. I'm just kind of, we're done with it, right? So they want to add 1 more hour. I don't blame them for doing it. They have the roster to do it. I don't think it's going to grab my attention unless they make it an all women's show. Okay. 1 hour, like we said, maybe you got like 3 matches, 1 or 2 in-ring promos. this would be for Tony Khan and AEW. This would be groundbreaking for them. WWE, they've done the Evolution pay-per-view. They've done the Mae Young Classic. They've never had a weekly women's show. So that's something they can really, wave the flag on of, hey, here's something new that we're doing. We're groundbreaking. We're equal opportunity, yada, yada. Continue to build the women's division. They just signed Taya Valkyrie on Wednesday. She showed up to fight on Jay. Make it something different than anything else. That might be the way. And in the same vein of you, Jay, of making it Ring of Honor, right? Give me something different. Don't just make it a general hour of AEW, because I'm not watching Rampage more often than not. And so you're just gonna throw another hour on. I'm not gonna feel it. So you guys like that idea?
I don't like the all women's, especially with AEW. WWE could easily do an all wrestling show. It is their chance, sure. But odds are when they do that, they'll fuck it up.
Well,
they don't have a women's audience.
Women audience, that's the smarty smarts.
You gotta try it and build it. The Bella Twins will host the 1 hour on Saturday.
There you go.
Who are
sorry.
The Garcia twins.
The Garcia twins. Yes. My condolences to the
Nikki
Bellas.
and Bray. All right.
Yes.
Love them. Can't wait for them to be in a. No,
I don't.
We'll see. Go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
I think it's a good idea to have them on there. I've said this for weeks now, but
it'll happen.
Look, I'm not a businessman, but like if you have a property like Ring of Honor that people will watch because they have great talent for Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor exclusives. If you're going to get another hour, because remember, they got Dark and they got Dark Elevation, and they're going to get this reality show. I mean, it's, oversaturation. AEW is going to be oversaturation. Go Ring of Honor.
Right.
Go Ring of Honor. But don't give me AEW guys on Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor guys, like, that shit needs to stop. I like Claudio. He's awesome. Don't want to see him on AEW, even though the way that ended last night. But, like, I don't know. Yeah. I think we could move on.
They've done better lately of the ROH AEW split. Yeah, they've done better, but still, it's not a completely different thing either way.
Maybe the only thing that works is, say Rampage isn't pre-recorded. Say it goes live or a couple hour delay. You do a brand split, kind of. So you have your Rampage and you have your Dynamite, and then Collision means once a week you will see guys from the show going against each other.
Didn't WWE try that with Superstars when they brought that back in like 2009?
Did they?
I think they tried.
I don't remember.
It was on WGN.
I don't remember. I remember that, but I don't remember the concept.
Do you remember?
I'll say.
Yeah, but Ring of Honor needs a regular TV deal.
I'd go with the Ring of Honor. Saturday, 6:00. I mean, only time I ever watched Ring of Honor when it was on Saturdays at 11:00. So it's like Saturdays are Ring of Honor days. And then the dying days of Ring of Honor, it was on when I moved. New affiliate, Sundays at 11 a.m. So
it was that version of Ring of Honor, man. They were on it like Saturday morning at 7, like Sunday at like 3 a.m. Like just because it was all just paid for programming.
Yeah.
So right. So yeah, Ring of Honor, 6:00. Why not?
Book it.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Zarian said expect an announcement in the next month or so. So we'll see if that comes to bit. Today, as we are recording, it is March 16th. It is Austin 316 Day. Joe and Kevin are properly representing with the Austin 316 shirts. I kind of threw it out there on Monday night. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, it's Austin 316 Day as we record. What should we do? And Jay said, you know what? Austin's got his new show coming up. It's called Stone Cold Takes on America, where Austin is going to be doing different jobs. The ones they have said in the press release, he's going to be a weatherman and he's going to work in a fast food restaurant. So
he did the Dunkin' Donuts too.
He did Dunkin' Donuts
what
commercial.
The ads thing that, yeah.
Okay. So each of us, we are giving one job that we want to see Steve Austin do. If you don't mind, I'll go first. I want him to be a rattlesnake handler. He's the Texas rattlesnake. Let's let him live the gimmick. Let's put him in there in the fucking like Crocodile Dundee with the giant pythons and cobras and all that shit and see how he handles it. The only thing we could get Simon to help guide us to help Steve on the show. I'm presuming he knows all about snakes and outback creatures.
Alligators.
Alligators. But yeah, the only thing I can think of when he did anything with snakes was probably when he did the 316 promo with Jake Roberts, the King of the Ring. So let's see him be a rattlesnake handler and see how that works. Jay, you want to go next?
I want him to work at the Dairy Queen.
And why would that be? Yeah?
Yeah, I just think, you want a sundae? What do you want on
blizzards?
That? Bananas? Yeah. What? Hot fudge? What? Cherries? What? Nuts? What? Come on. I mean, and I want it to be a Dairy Queen where he has to wear the paper hat.
Do they have those
like In and Out?
I don't see that anymore. Yeah,
I don't, but that's what I want. I want him in like a striped short sleeve button down shirt with a bow tie. Can have skulls on the bow tie, so be it. But yeah, I want, and his name's Stone Cold. Maybe he should work at Cold Stone instead of Dairy Queen. I don't know.
Mike Tyson's all about it. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, give me Stone Cold making ice cream treats.
Kev,
I want to see him work at like a window factory. That for some way
where it's going.
He'll drop it. You hear the glass break. And then you hear the toot toot for lunch break, and then you just see him strutting off to the cafeteria. Wow, that would be it's going to be. I don't know. I have to imagine it's going to be somewhat scripted. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
you're going to do this here. You're going to do that there. Like,
it's like the women that work on the HGTV shows.
Say what?
They hold the hammer. And they talk about what they're going to do. They pound one nail, and then you never see them the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want shenanigans with glass.
That's great.
That's good.
Joe, can you top
the glass company?
Glass window installer or whatever.
Glass company Steve.
I just want to see it. I want to see it because I want to see him scare some people. I want to see him be a substitute high school teacher in a public school.
Okay.
I want to see like these kids like trying to be all big and bad to Stone Cold.
Sub is here.
And he comes in with his tie, but like t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come into Gangster's Paradise. I can't think of the name of that movie.
I didn't say Inner.
Oh, it was like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Not what was it? Dangerous Mind.
Dangerous Mind.
Dangerous Mind.
No, I don't want to see him go into inner city because there's nothing funny about like what's going on in inner city schools. I want to see him go to like suburban school where the kids
private school, maybe in Ohio.
Yeah, fine, Ohio. I don't teach
or
there.
Michigan.
Well, I didn't want to say where you work, but whatever.
Anyway, I want to see him go to like a public school, not inner city, but like somewhere where the kids think they're big and bad and know everything, and have the rattlesnake come and like say this is a substitute that you're not going to mess with. DTA.
It's a bit of a scared straight. Yeah,
pretty much.
What about the window?
Can he still break a window there?
Yes, he can still break a window.
Does the classroom have windows?
We'll serve the Sunday lunch.
He could throw the know-it-all kid through the window.
Yes,
as an example of not to fuck around.
And it happened to be show and tell day, and he brings in his rattlesnake.
And then after show and tell, he has treats.
Yes.
He has treats.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what an episode that's going to be. Can't wait for that. Well, happy
it's a
March
combo
16th.
episode?
Yes, it's a spinoff.
Every quarter hour, it's a new job.
Right.
And then at the end, everything comes together.
It's what they had in the 90s. It's a crossover show.
Yeah, crossover.
Two shows. Yeah. It's like, Chandler's on Carolina in the City. Wow, weird.
It's like DJ Tanner showed up at Urkel's house. I mean,
right.
Even though one's in San Francisco, one's in Chicago, but they all.
We're not gonna.
It was the science fair.
Right.
That's right. We're not gonna miss that one. Well, this has been great, guys. the four-leaf clover back together. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Of course, youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, thanks. And if you want to spread the word, that'd be great too. At That Wrestle Pod is all the socials, and whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. We will talk to you next week as we get even closer on the road to WrestleMania. Enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for listening. Follow That Wrestle Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it!
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That Wrestle Pod on social media.